We're doing it. We're doing it. We're not only drafting a live 2023 fantasy football draft tonight, we're drafting for a week one draft. It's called Weekly Winners. And we're actually drafting an entire fantasy football team like we normally do. Best ball, drafting 18 rounds, 12 people in a draft, and you keep the team the entire year, no waivers, no nothing. It's normal best ball. But the caveat, the trick, the gift, the little nugget in this one is that there's no end of the season prize. You're not fighting to week 17. You're fighting each individual week off the same team. You're not getting a chance to redraft or nothing. Your drafting strategy is through the roof. You're drafting a team and taking into the season, and each week is reset. Who scores the most points in week number 1? Guess what you get? 20K. What does second place get in week 1? 10K. Then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What happens in week K? Does week 1 matter? No, it does not. Week 1 is done. Now you go into week 2, completely separate week, and you draft. Or I'm sorry, you don't draft. You take your team that you drafted in. You don't get to reset anything. That all happens right now. You plan for it. You maybe even look later on. We don't have time yet. This just opened up. We're going to draft right now. But you have time to plot and ploy your way into a schedule, a piece of glory in week 7 or 8 or 9 where maybe you've got the right matchups and you're actually drafting for everything to fall into place for that week 7 alone. You want to win 20K in week 7. You're going to draft your team around week 7 only and hope that you win some money along the way. Such a fun way to approach fantasy football. And here's the link right now for you guys to sign up and get in. The link's in the description. This is Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. And the link in the description, the link that I just dropped in the live chat, it will get you where you need to go in terms of signing up. And then from there, we will be drafting. So hang tight. Here we go. The Fantasy Football Show. Late night, weekly winners draft extravaganza begins right now.
FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
All right, guys, file in and get ready because in about we'll let people run into the chat here. Give them about 2 minutes to pile on in, and then we're going to be jumping straight into a live fantasy football draft for the Weekly Winners contest, which is so amazing when you break it all down and you understand how much strategy is involved and the fact that your nothing matters. Each week is completely individual and unrelated to the previous week. So, but you don't redraft or anything. It's just awesome. So here are the prizes again, and these prizes repeat weekly. Who's the number 2 fantasy scoring team in week 2? Unrelated to week 1, unrelated to week 3, unrelated to future weeks is who's the number 1 team in week 1? There you go. Boom, 20K. Who's the number 1 team in week 2? Boom, 20K. Second place gets that 10. Then it's a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5. Just an amazing way to play. Weeklies is amazing. D-Class not available on Android. I don't think that's true. If you can't see it, it's because you haven't updated your app and you're going to miss out on this little number here. So click D-Class that. Go to the App Store. You might have to actually click into the actual Underdog app, not just look at in the list. You have to actually click on it and then you'll see the update app. You got to update the app. All right, 5-4. Click the link now. I'm going to click it after about a 3-second delay here. Click it now. Click it. Get in. $15 an entry. Boom, boom. 8 spots are available. That means a lot of you can get in this. 8 spots, 7 spots available. Jump in to the Weekly Winners. D-Class, update that app, my good man. Oh, you spoke with customer support. They don't have it available on Android yet. That seems weird. Okay. Maybe it's coming very soon. Hang tight, D-Class. I haven't heard that, though. I updated nothing, says Blind Larry. 2 spots remaining. If you can't get in this draft, get into a regular Superflex draft alongside of us on the board. Just go in and cycle through to the Superflex. Those are going to be gone very, very soon. Okay, so make sure you click that. All right, make sure you click that and go. Each week sounds brutally hard. Fun concept. I don't think it's as hard when you really think about it, because you get a lot more opportunities to win cash money. Your boy got the 3 spot at a baby. We're going from the 3. File on in. And if you didn't get into this, or you can't get in, or your app wasn't updated, or you're on Android, and I guess maybe they don't have it for Android yet, I'll check into that, then just draft in a Superflex draft alongside of us, a $4 Superflex draft. I would love to see what your teams look like. Phone lines will be open. Dial in. If you're not in this draft, dial in and talk about it. Dial in and tell me what you would do. Dial in and tell me, talk about a player. Dial in and just ask a fantasy question. You don't have to be in this draft to be in this live stream. Occasionally a Bob comes in here and says, I'm not in this draft, I'm out of here. It's like, bro, the phone lines are open. The conversation's pertinent to everything. Like, what are you doing? Why are you leaving? Where are you going? What do you got to be? Where you got to be at 12:30 at night? Sleeping? Come on. It's draft time. It's draft season, baby. All right, let's see here. I'm in the 3 spot. Okay. I don't know who this Ray character is, but I'm guessing he goes JJ. I don't know who Eagle is. I don't know if that's one of ours. I'm guessing Eagle goes Kelsey. I bet one of these cats goes Kelsey in the 1 or 2 spot, and I don't blame him, because you could draft around KC. Maybe I go Kelsey right here. Maybe I go Kelsey and Patty Boy, and I draft for that. Let's do. You know what? I draft Bijan all day long. Let's try it. I draft Bijan all day long. I don't need to worry about it. Let's try a Patty Mahomes Kelsey team, a Pacheco included in that, maybe an all KC team. See what we get in the 3rd and 4th rounder range to add to the KC team, because it won't just be KC players. Let's see if we can consume and consolidate the KC Chief team in this weekly winners contest, so that we can have as many chances as we can of smashing a few teams in a couple different isolated weeks where Kelsey, Mahomes, Pacheco, and crew drop massive loads all over the screen. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it live. Here's the big board. It went Justin Jefferson, number 1. Hold on, we got a caller here. Cali Loco, and Lancaster are both calling in at the same time. Hold on. I went Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. I took Travis Kelsey just to throw a little curveball here at the community. And Christian McCaffrey, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown, Bijan Robinson, Garrett Wilson, and then Speedy's on the clock. I really like the idea of potentially going, going with this all KC team. Speedy, please don't smash the KC stack. Speedy, please. I hope you all are having a good time. Someone says, Smitty, if you draft Watson in the top 4 picks, I will forever consider you to be the fantasy GOAT. Top 4 picks. Can't do that. Appreciate you. Sam says, Smitty, your IG story chronicle was quite the wild ride. Bro, today was weird. You know, ever have one of those days where you go out and just everything goes wrong? You know, you're waiting in line, people skip you. You're going this way and something happens to your food. You know, just constant. I went out today and nothing was going right. They wouldn't use my gift card that Miss Smitty got for Father's Day at Smashburger. I was very disappointed in Smashburger, the way they handled that. Selling gift cards but refusing to use them, letting you use them. I don't know what we're gonna even do at this point. Then I go and get her ice cream, and they completely just help everybody but me. I'm just standing there, invisible man. Then I go down the street. And more stuff happens. It just kept unraveling and unraveling. I finally got home and said, this is why I don't go out. I'm not made for the world. I am made for the internet. I am a part of the internet now. I don't know that I should even leave. Maybe I should just be uploaded into the internet ecosystem and just remain. We got Cali Loco. Cali, what is up, my guy?
Hey, Smitty, how you doing? I like this new wrinkle with the underdog.
Yeah.
Those throws a new turn on it. You know, you almost want to go with kind of a middle of the tier team that has good players because, you know, the NFL, like every other year, the schedule flips. You get the easier schedule. So I haven't, like, you know, overanalyzed it and checked it out. But
yeah, I mean, this
one, like,
it makes you,
throws.
Makes you want to think of different strategies. Well, I interrupted you. Sorry. It makes you want to think of different strategies, like the Kelsey Mahomes KC stack. You know, like something like that is a really, really, and of course Wayne Solo just snipes the ability to do that. Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate you doing that. Well, I probably wouldn't have gotten Kelsey in that situation, but it was worth a try. But I still think I'm going to have a really good, advantage at the tight end position. And honestly, in general, it does make me feel like the Kelsey tight end situation, even though long-term it probably wouldn't be the move I make, but for a couple of these weeks, I believe I'm going to spike. I'm going to have a spike of scoring because of Kelsey. So it makes you want to potentially go that route when maybe you wouldn't at 3 or 4 or 5 overall go Kelsey. Because think about it, in this context, you don't even need to have your team stay healthy all year long. You may not win in the final weeks if you draft Henry early. Like if I took Henry right here, for example, that could be fire because Henry might be amazing the first 5 weeks of the season, and I could win $20,000 in for week 1 or week 2 or week 3 or week 4. So your strategy is just it's crazy, to think about what you're going to do. What should I do here? Probably going to go.
You could even go ahead and do your pick.
I'm probably still going to go Olave here. I'm going to go Olave here. I think I'll go that route, and then we'll see what happens. I'd be tempted to go Henry with this next pick, because I only need to win week 1. Of course, the more weeks you play, the more odds that you're gonna get.
Well, I was gonna say I like the players like Olave, but like on another team because I don't like his quarterback. But some of your younger receivers you've been highlighting, if you got a good quarterback, that might be the stack, unusual stack, because their schedule might be easy. You might win they might have a stretch of games where they've got the crappy opponents, and they have, some more chances at that big pot.
So, Stevenson, Breece Hall. It's a tough spot to be in here. I think I'm gonna go Breece here.
Yo, Lancaster here.
What's up, Lancaster?
Not too bad. Not too much. I'm about 5 drafts into this, and I love the strategy because there's a few things we can do. You can either stack everybody on the same bye week, or you can play against the big bye weeks. The big bye weeks are 7 and 13, right?
Yeah, there's so many, bro. The strategies are endless. Because you could do exactly what you're saying. Go into that and try and draft and win the bye week, like you said. That you could draft everybody for weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, and say, give me Henry, give me Eckler, give me. You could take Eckler at number 2 when I never would draft him, and then go Henry, and then you might have 2 top 4 running backs for 4 weeks, and then those guys I don't. There's so many strategies. There's so many. There's not even 2. Like you said, 2. There's hundreds of ways to look at this.
Yeah. Well, what I just got done doing, like I said, I'm about 5 drafts deep. My most recent one was week 7 bye week. So everybody is going towards okay, let's get the Jets and all that stuff, and let's stack our bye week for all the people on week 7. Well, Chargers are playing the Broncos, so I built up Chargers and Broncos correlation, and then the Eagles are playing the Raiders. So I ended up with Hurts, Penny, AJ Brown, and just let's hope that the Eagles bully the Raiders.
Yeah,
because everybody's people are like, well, I'll stack up everything that's on.
But here's
take that week off and try to
Yeah.
hold up.
But here's the other thing too, is like it's fun to do a couple of those. Like if these were $4 or $5 drafts, it'd be a lot easier to just throw everything at it. Just but since they're 15, it makes it a little harder to go through like a ton of thousand different motions. But I do feel like a lot of people will get caught up on the short term vision of some of this stuff. I think a lot of the time I'm still going to draft the best team I can possibly draft. And this is a strategy too. Don't change a thing. Let everybody else change around you and reach and do all these weird things. And you just take the best player available every time. And you end up having 17 shots of getting the best team that week instead of focusing on like these weird aspects and like throwing your team to the wind in weeks 1 through 7, and you're going for week 8 and week 10, and you know what I mean. So like, there's so many different angles to it.
Yeah,
I love these. This is a great idea, great concept, and I've been a big advocate. I don't know if you guys have heard me over and over and over say that when you do a fantasy football prize, like when you decide how to pay people out for your league, your own leagues, your home leagues, your personal leagues, I always tell people don't just go Super Bowl. It's too boring. And if you pay just the Super Bowl and Super Bowl runner-up, you have somebody that's gonna potentially like quit week 10. Is someone taking a leak?
Yeah.
What's going on there? Is someone in the bathroom?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm making my coffee. For
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
I was like, okay.
I don't know at that point. I have you on regular phone. I'm sorry, bro.
No.
I think that's a piss.
It sounded short-lived, so I thought maybe it was a pour and not a spray.
Yeah, no. Just setting the coffee for tomorrow.
Okay.
Sorry, bro.
No. It's fine. It sounded like a coffee. I think you're good. I think we believe you. You passed the lie test. But what I was going to say is that I don't know that half the time I'm going to change much. I think I'm just going to take the best player available in about 50, 60, 70% of these. And then I will do some weird creative strategies for sure. But I think a lot of people are going to get too caught up in this and they're going to start overthinking stuff and maybe some guys fall. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it all unfolds. But right here, hold on real quickly. Let me just go through this draft. So, it went JJ, Jamar Chase, Travis Kelce, McCaffrey, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, Bijan Robinson, Garrett Wilson, Austin Eckler, Stephon Diggs, Nick Chubb, then turns into the second round. Hold on, I'm on the clock. I think I got it. Oh, Justin Fields went. Man, I'm getting sniped left and right. This is the problem, is like it's so hard to deploy a strategy. Like I almost have to join the draft and start the live without just getting completely massively sniped. I mean, like everyone's taking the quarterbacks. There's nothing left. We'll go with Kenneth Walker here, which I'm fine with. My team's still good, and there's still a way to win taking best player available. Like ultimately, my team is still straight fire. But I was trying to do something that I clearly can't do. People are sniping like crazy. Fields would have probably normally been available. And Mr. Kitty, don't apologize. You guys are paying good money. Even Wayne Solo, who literally sniped my plan from the beginning when I announced I was going to go Mahomes and show you guys a KC stack. Look, don't blame Wayne Solo. He's paying $15 to jump in this draft. It is his right to take the best player available. But it is going to be hard to show you something on the fly. This might be something to where I'll record some drafts and then do an uploaded video on how to do some of these things. But this squad so far feels straight fire. Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Olave, Kelce. And let's see who I am going to take here. Don't know that I love the wide receiver options. I mean, I could go. Jeez, this is tough. I feel like this is forcing it. I don't know if this might be a mistake. I ran out of time and I had to just make a decision. I went with DeAndre Hopkins. We don't even know where he's going to go. Rock out at Mr. Call. Try calling in again. We don't even know where he's going to go. So this feels like a little bit of a reach, but I also don't want wide receivers to get ripped off the board too quickly. So I feel like Kelce, Chris Olave, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, DeAndre Hopkins is still pretty fire. Okay, let's swing back over.
Yeah.
So, as I said, it went into round 2. It went Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes. Remember, we got a lot of our guys in here. I don't think the quarterbacks would necessarily go this high. I think maybe you'll see them go higher in this format because people are trying to win individual weeks, and so quarterbacks are more valuable all of a sudden, everybody. So this could be a trend, but a lot of these are from our people. So I don't know that we can tie too much. Speedy's one of our guys. Wayne Solo's one of our guys. Grandpa Dollars, I believe, is not one of our, maybe he is. Mr. Kitty's one of our guys. So almost everybody that has a quarterback is one of our guys. So we don't really know where the quarterbacks are going to fall. But so it went Adams at 2.1, Lamb, Hurts, Mahomes, JT, Amon-Ra, Barkley, Jalen Waddle, Tony Pollard. I took Chris Olave. T. Higgins, Derrick Henry flips into round 3. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Breece Hall, Devontae Smith, Ramondre Stevenson, Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson, Christian Watson, Najee Harris, Calvin Ridley, Josh Jacobs, Debo. Then it flips into the next round, round 4. DK, Amari Cooper, Jahmyr Gibbs going to Speedy, Christian Kirk, Drake London going to is that TMT? TMT. Drake London. So, Christian Watson, Drake London, both going to TMT, and Bijan. Like this is our crew in here. We got our crew just marking up the board. AJ Brown, but everyone's drafting good. They're all good teams. AJ Brown. Oh, I'm sorry. After Drake London went Travis Etienne at 42, Justin Fields at 43, who I think I would have got if Mr. Kitty wasn't in the draft, which is fine. I just letting you know that I probably would have drafted him. Keenan Allen, Jerry Jeudy. I took Kenneth Walker, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin. Then it flips into round 5.1, round 5. 5.1 is Joe Mixon, Mike Williams. I took D-Hop. I kind of felt forced there. Not sure that was my favorite pick I made, or it certainly wasn't my favorite pick, but it's still decent. TJ Hawkinson, Herbert, Aaron Jones, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Pitts, J.K. Dobbins, Trevor Lawrence going to Speedy, who's just hogging up the quarterbacks. That's fine, Speedy. George Kittle, Chris Godwin. Then it flips into round 6. Alexander Madison, Hollywood Brown. This crew, to draft a team you try and intend to draft to is going to be a near impossibility, especially with Speedy in here reaching like a madman on everything. He actually hasn't reached too much in this draft at all, but I do know he's going to snipe anybody that's ever been mentioned on the channel. So I'm not going to get a lot of people that I want at this 5th and 6th round pick, I think, a lot of the time, but that's fine. That's why we do this. Go ahead, rock out real quick. Let me go to rock out first.
Go ahead.
Yeah, where you think the wide receivers at Carolina going to end up as far as like Mingo and Chark and Phelan?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we like Mingo. We haven't heard much. It's early. I think people are going to, write him off already because, like, here's this excitement and then nothing comes out of it for a while. And so people are going to, I think, panic on it, and that's good. But,
yeah, I
mean, I'm still hopeful that Mingo turns into a little mini A.J. Brown. I really think there's a possibility. I mean, yeah, but like that's a stretch, like nothing is a guarantee on that front at all whatsoever. Let me see if I
was just going to say I like the Fields pick. Like you were saying, that the guy got it before you, but Chicago might have one of those schedules. I haven't looked at their schedule, but they were kind of
cake
middle of the road last year. They're going to have an easier schedule. And that division, there's not that many good defenses, too.
Yeah, no, cake schedule, bro. Very, very, very. Fields has got more value in this draft, this format, than other formats, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Pacheco here, and kind of sidecar cuff him to Kelsey. And so Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Pacheco, I think those are fire RBs. Pacheco's my flex. Olave, Hopkins, and Kelsey, very, very, very solid, I think, so far. Thank you for the TMT gift and memberships there. TMT, appreciate you gifting those 5 memberships. TMT to the moon.
To the moon.
What do you guys think of this team so far? You know, I'm really hoping that Hopkins lands somewhere that he can benefit, but also doesn't tear down somebody. Imagine if he goes to KC, then I've got Kelsey, Hopkins, and Pacheco, but no Mahomes.
I'm thinking he's such a Patriot, it's ridiculous.
You what?
I think he's such a Patriot, it's ridiculous.
You think he's a Patriot?
Yeah.
Who said that? Is that Lancaster?
Yes, sir.
Why do you think he's a Patriot?
Well, he met with them.
Okay.
He's met with, what, 2 teams? What was the other team? I can't even remember. And, you know, Bill coming off the divorce, Belichick is going to be in the fucking lab. He's going to be in the lab. Sorry. And I think that this is going to be the Mac Jones redemption season if they get D-Hop. You look at how they're restructuring everybody's contracts. They're freeing up cap space for 1 year.
TMT, thanks for gifting another one. You give me a lot of speculation without any sort of. I mean, bro, I could give you the same stuff right back at you. I could say they just signed a receiver to a $33 million 3-year deal, and even if it might have relieved $3.9 million or $3.7 million in cap space. Everyone's saying that move made it more likely to sign Hopkins. Give me a break. You don't sign a receiver to a 3-year deal, $33 million, and then go after another receiver. Not only are you setting the benchmark for a very high contract offer for Hopkins, there have been multiple rumors linked to the release of Parker if they were to bring in Hopkins. So the signing of him goes against everything.
The Parker deal, it's one of their linebackers. I can't remember his name, but they also did the same thing with one of their linebackers.
Yeah,
I just think that this is.
They keep inking people. It's less likely, bro. Every minute they sign somebody, it's less likely to have any sort of money. Not to mention you guys don't spend money. So the fact that you've already spent a boatload of money in the last day on 2 different players means that you're definitely probably almost certainly not doing it again for another wide receiver. Not to mention what I'm hearing is Hopkins is he left there because the reason if Hopkins had gotten the offer he wanted, I think he felt very disrespected. If he got the offer he wanted, he would have signed, and he would have certainly gone back there and tried to get that deal done before the Parker deal happened. Parker came after.
Would you give me like a 25% chance?
Well, you're saying he's such a Patriot. It's you're like, you sound like you're sold 100% on it, but I would say there's
would you give me 25%?
No,
chance?
I wouldn't give you 25% chance. I'd say that there's like a 5 or 10% chance that they're still somehow cooking something up, but none of this smells like they're going after Hopkins. Like Patriot fans are so hopeful and blind to it. Like I have a bunch of Patriot fan page buddies that are on Instagram. And I'm just watching their content, and they're just like, no, guys, listen. They're freeing up money for Hopkins. Like, no, they're not, bro.
I'm a commie fan.
They're not.
I'm not even I'm not emotionally tied into this. I just think that there's like a 1 in 4, maybe.
I put it at 2%.
And it's worth leveraging it's worth leveraging some of your exposure. And my main thing is if that happens. Maybe it's the Mac Jones redemption season. Maybe
this sounds like a Patriots fan. If I've ever heard a Patriots fan in my life, you're talking Mac Jones. You're talking about Hopkins being like a lock to go to New England, bro. You're smoking that New England water out there, bro. Boiling it.
I hate clam chowder, bro.
Well, I'm just telling you right now. You said 2 things I don't agree with, but hey, that's why we play the game. And does logic always play a role in this? No. There's plenty of times I go live and I go, this is going to happen, and it doesn't. And I'm like, what? Like, this is logical. You know what was logical?
I'm saying
giving up the future that you're going to give away anyway and not win. Give up the future for Lamar Jackson. Bring him in, and then Hopkins would have gladly walked over and signed pen to paper immediately. Even at a discount, he would have said, let me play with Lamar Jackson. You guys aren't trying to build a winning team. You're trying to build I don't know if this is a attempt to rebuild or what, but this is not the look. The Patriots will be lucky to win 6-7 games, I think, unless they do something drastically different, that we aren't seeing happen.
Yeah. But,
The division
they
got
had,
better,
the second or third best fantasy defense last year?
Well, that's going to be it's definitely a strong suit, a strong part of Look at the sniping going on. Charbonnet at 89.
Charbonnet 89.
You guys. Yeah. Like he
I'll let you go, Smitty. But I totally agree. New England.
Yeah.
The last few moves ridiculous. They should have get with D-Hop. He's more athletic. Parker, he's done. Get younger. And now if they're going to get Hopkins, they're going to have to pay him more than what they gave Parker. It ain't going to happen. The only thing saving him is the coach is a good coach. He, obviously, he's getting older, but great defensive mind, maybe the best NFL coach of all time. But as far as personnel moves, no. And defensively, great. And they have Stevenson. That's about it. And your division got better. Sorry. Hate to rain on your parade.
Yeah. I think I saw. Hold on, real quickly. Is this Cali Loco that's talking?
Yeah.
I think I saw a Vegas line. There was another Patriot buddy of mine that runs the Patriots page, and he's like, "Look, Vegas thinks we're doing." There was some Vegas line of the odds of making the playoffs. The odds of the Patriots making the playoffs are so slim to none in my mind because they're not going to. There's zero negative chance they're winning the division. Okay, let's just put that out there. And then number two,
it might be worse in the division.
Yeah, and number two,
and they're in the AFC.
And number two, they got to grab one of 3 wild card spots. It's just it's hilarious. Not to mention the 2 teams above them will probably grab those 2 wild card spots, and almost guaranteed to get them over. Over New England. There's almost essentially zero chance New England can make the playoffs. If they finish last in their division, zero chance.
If Tua stays healthy and Rodgers has a semi-decent year, because Jets could have made playoffs if it wasn't for, if they would have just stuck with Magic Mike, they might have lucked into a couple wins and made the playoffs last year.
TMT gifted 10.
They had a problem at quarterback.
TMT gifting 10 more YouTube memberships. I think he's gifting these right now to make up for taking Charbonnet. TMT. All right, we'll see you later, Callie.
All right, thank you. Good night.
Yeah, later. Yeah, guys, don't feel bad. Take your guys. I do think, be careful not to snipe. Some of you guys are drafting some of these guys so early, like Kincaid at 104 is really, really early. Charbonnet was early. That's my boy TNT. Just sniping them. Just sniping. just like a snipe. TMT dropping TNT. He is. I mean, he's more than making up for it with the gifted memberships. That's for sure. So I appreciate him. My team so far, if you guys want to take a gander at it, I went a little early on Anthony Richardson because my team is kind of built for aside from Kelsey's got to stay healthy. My team's kind of built for the longer haul. Olave getting on his horse and becoming, I think, who we think he's going to become by the end of the year. Walker, my plan was Walker, Charbonnet. And then that would have kind of been nice. Breece Hall's going to get going and get more and more involved, and they're going to unleash him more and more, right? Richardson's going to kind of get going more. I kind of planned Jameson Williams out for first 6 games. So I kind of built this team with Kelsey, Chris Olave, Hopkins, Jameson Williams. I built this team to kind of weather the storm and come in strong at the end. Feels pretty good.
Well, one of the strats I heard is draft all rookies and plan for end of season upside. It's viable. Anything is viable right now until we really dissect this.
Yeah, and you won't know until next year, and even then it'll be anomalies could win it, and then you think this is that's when I say when people come in and say that you got to stack in weeks, how you got to stack in order to win week 17. It's pretty easy to say all these things when you don't have a whole lot of data and you have winners. And winners did a certain thing, and people are going to immediately be like, oh, well, that's because maybe no one's perfecting the other way to go about it. There's so many hundreds of different ways, even in a regular setting, not just this particular format. There's so many ways to go at a strategy.
I'll walk into a draft thinking, okay, I'm gonna zero RB this thing, and then I'll be at the 12-13 turn, and I'll have Eckler and Bijan. It's like, well, improvise, adapt, overcome. Like, know your strategies. Have multiple in your pocket. Know how you're drafting. That's what we got to do at the end of the day.
Yeah, going Aaron Rodgers there. So I got a nice little combo of things going on, like Aaron Rodgers and Brees. Not that stacking needs to happen, but with this contest, it could be good because if the Jets go off in a certain week, you're going to have Aaron Rodgers and Brees probably both doing well. Electro's a member for 5 months.
I'm going to head out for the...
All right, later.
I'm head out for the evening. Smitty, you have a good night.
Later, Lancaster. Appreciate you. Interesting draft so far. Rock out. Any observations here?
Can you show the team?
I'm going kind of heavy running back here, but here's my squad. Tell me what you think of my squad. Anthony Richardson, Aaron Rodgers, Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker, Pacheco, Javonte McKinnon. Receivers are Chris Olave, DeAndre Hopkins, Jameson Williams, Travis Kelce. It's a very interesting build, and I think I'm obviously favoring later weeks because of Javonte and Brees and Anthony Richardson and Olave probably getting better and better each week. Pacheco, we'll see how that does. I got McKinnon and Pacheco in case something happens there, but this is the board here.
You got Snipe and Charbonnet?
Yeah. TMT was kind of going a little early on him, but that's okay. He's here to try and win money, and he watches the show, and I like that he watches the show, and it doesn't make me mad. Okay.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah, he's implementing strategy that he's learning here. Justin Jefferson, Derrick Henry, Josh Allen, Terry McLaurin, Joe Mixon, Cam Akers, Gabe Davis. I liked where this team was going. I don't like some of those later picks. Joe Mixon, Gabe Davis, Sutton, Juju. No thanks on all of those. Let's see here. Chase, T. Higgins, Burrow, DJ Moore, Mike Williams, Lockett, Jahan Dotson, Tyler Boyd. I like some of those players for sure. He's got that Bengal stack going, which is definitely cool. Maybe I wouldn't have gone Lockett and Mike Williams personally. I would have started digging up some RBs at that point, bro. Like Lockett and Mike Williams. Like what advantage are you getting by just going? Look at this massive wide receiver run that you've done. Like this is Eagle, Chase, Higgins, Burrow, DJ Moore. Pretty good start. I mean, those four are good, but then you just kept going wide receiver, bro. Mike Williams, Lockett. I like Dotson. Tyler Boyd, like look at all those wide receivers. And then now you've got Brian Robinson, Damian Harris, and Samaje Perine. I think if you just would have went running back instead of Mike Williams and Lockett, you would have been on fire, bro. You would have had Chase, Higgins, Dotson, DJ Moore. You had four wide receivers. You didn't need to go Mike Williams and Tyler Lockett. I don't know what you were doing there. You could have got Javonte and Pacheco, and then your team would have been fire. And then you got Perine later. You would have been good to go, bro. My team, I mean, I like it. I got sniped like crazy. I was trying to do different things I couldn't deploy. But Travis Kelce, Olave, Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker, DeAndre Hopkins, Pacheco, Anthony Richardson. I took a little early. Javonte, Jameson Williams, Aaron Rodgers, Jerick McKinnon. I like every pick I selected. But McCaffrey, Pollard, Devonta Smith, Jerry Jeudy, Hawkinson, Deontay, Tua, okay. Cooper Kupp, Jalen Waddle, Stevenson, Keenan Allen, Herbert, Mike Evans, Damian. There's some good pieces to that, I suppose. Mr. Kitty's got Tyreek, Barkley, Andrews, Fields, Aaron Jones, Pittman, Treylon, Kamara. It's not bad. I don't know that I would have taken Michael Pittman and Burks there, but that's just me. I mean, it wasn't a bad choice there. Okay, so my team right now, I need wide receivers pretty pretty badly. Let me just see who's there in Snipe City. What's going on here in Snipe City?
Anybody left?
You know, I guess I'll go Jaden Reed. I suppose bank on a rookie. Okay, and then let's see, where was I? Tyreek Hill, Tyreek Hill, Barkley. Okay, Mr. Kitty, nice team, Mr. Kitty. It's a good team. AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, Lamar, Travis Etienne, Ayuk's early for me. Goddard, David Montgomery, Rashad White. Not bad. TMT's got Bijan, JT, Watson, Drake London, Pitts, JSN, George Pickens, Charbonnet, Kincaid. I like it. It's a good squad. Jordan Love's his first quarterback, though. But, it's definitely a way to go. I don't think it's that bad of a QB. You waited very, very long to get him. Nice job. I'm going to go with a little security here in Curtis Samuel. Just think he could be utilized. All right, going back to the board. Who'd we stop at? So, yeah, good team. TMT's got to be top 4, top 5 team for sure. Garrett Wilson, Mahomes, Najee, Christian Kirk. I don't like Kirk in 4 personally. I know he did really well last year, but it's hard for me to buy him there. JK, Kadarius Toney, Addison, Gibson, Dillon. It's a good squad. I like it. I like everything but Kirk. I think that could have been a different player. Man, can you imagine if Gibbs fell to that pick? But why take Kirk over London personally? But I like everything else he did. Speedy's got Eckler, Hurts, Calvin Ridley, Jahmyr Gibbs, Trevor Lawrence, DeAndre Swift. Probably the most reserve he's been, actually. And that's a really good squad. I like it. It's definitely a top 5 or 6 team for sure. Diggs, Lamb, Jacobs, Cooper, George Kittle, Hollywood Brown. I mean, Watson. Just not a team for me. A lot of players I kind of avoid. Nick Chubb, Devontae Adams, Debo, DK, Godwin, Alexander Madison. It's okay. Just I don't know that I enjoy, Godwin in 5. I don't know. It's okay. There's not a lot of bad picks or anything. I just not my cup of tea type of team. But yeah, good squad so far. What should I do here? I don't know who I'm going to pick. How far away am I? Let's see. I think Lockett is out of the bag. I think Lockett's not going to have. I'm not huge on Lockett this year. I think JSN's going to take from him. I don't know how much DK is going to have taken from him, but I don't know. Not huge on that wide receiver situation as much as some, just because I don't think Geno's winning games. He's doing well. I just think they're a run-heavy team, and there's 3 wide receivers there now. It isn't set up properly. So you guys can, anybody that likes Lockett, he's yours. You can have him. He's all yours. Yeah, this is a weekly payout. So this is going to be awesome. What fantasy draft are you all on? Jaime, this is the first weekly winners that we tried. Link in the description. Did I pin the link? Can anybody see if the link's pinned? I think it is.
Which one are you on?
Which one am I on? What?
What type of draft you on?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
This is a weekly winners.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, have you seen that yet or no? That's what we're talking about this whole time. Rock out. Yeah.
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, weekly winners. This is a weekly. You get paid. The payouts are weekly. There's no season long contest. You're drafting one team for the entire season. but you're paid out weekly. So week 1 winner is paid, and then week 2 has nothing to do with week 1. Week 2 winner paid, and you get paid all the way down. It's like it's $20,000 for whoever scores the most points out of everybody in week 1. All right, I'm really surprised you guys haven't sniped him yet. I need wide receivers bad, and I know you guys are going to take him, so I'm going to go ahead and take Tank Dell here. But Tank Dell at the end of 14/early 15 is not crazy. Everybody else is sniping me. It's time to snipe. It's time to snipe a little back. Oscar, you're live on the channel. What's up, pal?
Hey, what up, Snake? How are you?
Oh, not bad. Just drafting away on these weekly winners, bro. It's such a great contest Underdog added. It's amazing. Rock out. I can't believe you haven't.
Where's that on the lobby?
You got to update your app, and then it'll be in the cards on the. Real quickly, hold on. Super chats here. First for my bro Fist. What's up, my guy, bro Fist Brad in the building. Sorry about the delay on that. Standard my weekly winners with Bijan. You started your weekly winners with Bijan, Chubb, and Brees. That's pretty good, bro. I'm gonna go Laporta here. Okay, hold on. Jeffrey said that was Jeffrey right there. Robert, what are your top 5 picks at the 1.1 for redraft? Robert, you still here? Thank you for reminding me about the super chat, pal. Sorry about the delay on that. Good question, Robert. I would say for me in PPR or half PPR, it's Chase, JJ, Bijan, CMC. If we're talking best ball, probably Kelsey. Especially if we're talking weekly winners. This contest is just made for Kelsey, like in a way, you know. But I would say if in regular best ball, not weekly winners, I would say maybe Kelsey could drop out and I don't know. I mean, I guess it would be Kelsey. I guess it would be CMC Kelsey, but I don't always love that draft slot because I'd rather just have Garrett Wilson at 10, you know. But yeah.
Okay, I see. A weekly winner.
Look at the payouts, Rockout. Those payouts are every week. Every week, those are the payouts. Week 1, those are the payouts. Week 2, those are the payouts.
20,000, 9,000, 7, 5, 3,000.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Wow.
And that's what we're talking about, the strategy of like you could draft everything for week 7. And yeah, maybe you still win week 1 or week 2 or week 3, but you're drafting around the bye week advantages of like week 7. Or you're drafting all, I don't know, all KC players for when they play the Raiders, like, you're planning for that.
All matchups.
I mean, it could be, or you do what I was saying earlier is that you let everybody else do that. You watch players get drafted out of place and out of pocket, and then you just keep taking the best player available, and you get this better team. And then you're going after 17 shots at getting 20K instead of like, well, I hope I get it, but I'm really trying to get 20K in week 7. Like I honestly would rather have 17 shots at it and just draft the best team I can and hope everything just falls into place in one given week. Because sometimes matchups, you think you're doing something good and then it doesn't really help you. You think, oh, this is going to be a great matchup. Then it gets flexed to Thursday night. And then the Thursday night game gives you nothing. Like, who the hell knows?
I'm not taking nobody on Thursday.
Yeah. Who plays the least amount of Thursday night games? You know who you might want to go after are just like teams in general that have good schedules. Like Fields has has got a good schedule. So Fields is a great quarterback in this format.
The only Thursday night game I would do is like the Thursday on Thanksgiving.
What's also nice is you don't necessarily have to draft as many quarterbacks or tight ends because you're not trying to. Your fear of going to tight ends. So look at my team right here. Your fear of saying, well, if I don't take a third quarterback, what happens if one of these guys gets hurt? Well, keep in mind, you're not necessarily always focusing on going the entire distance now, so maybe it's better to take a shot on a wide receiver and then, that way you have better chance of hitting that position or something like that. So there's a lot of different, things at play, which is really, really cool. I need a wide receiver. Yeah. Let's go Tim Patrick. He's been getting rave reviews in Denver. My wide receiver room is kind of weak on its face, but at the same time, once Jameson's back after 6 weeks, then this team could start trying to win that $20K prize each week. Week 9, boom. Week 10, boom. This is definitely built for a later run, I think, with Breece Hall slowly coming back, with Javonte slowly coming back. Olave is probably going to get better every single week. Jameson is suspended. The only thing that doesn't jive with this thinking is Kelsey. The older every day he gets older. So let's see here. Let's just keep going wide receiver. Go Josh Downs. I got Anthony Richardson. Gonna stack that up. Oscar, what else you got?
Hey, so I don't know if you recall, I called at the earlier show regarding the trade for Pacheco and Amon-Ra and JT and Mike Evans.
Actually, I got it on the board here. Okay, go ahead, hit me with it. What's the update?
I was just going to ask, or I didn't get a chance to ask, but I was hoping to see if I can give you a rundown of my team to see whether or not it makes sense going that route.
All right, as fast as you can.
Will do. Dynasty, one QB. So we got Fields, JT, Swift, Diggs, Deebo Samuel, Mike Evans, Hawkinson, Juju Smith.
Hold on one second.
And McKinnon.
Fields, JT, Swift, and who?
Diggs, Deebo.
Okay.
Mike Evans.
All right.
Hawkinson.
Hawkinson.
Juju.
Okay.
And McKinnon.
Okay. So your question is, should you be doing this St. Brown trade?
Right. I mean, the way I was looking at it is obviously to try to upgrade my wide receivers, considering I have Diggs and Deebo on there.
Yeah.
But then I would be losing out obviously on the JT side of things.
Your team does look really good, and I think you could win now. But since it's dynasty, no matter what way we spin it, Evans is on his way out, and so Evans, if we take Evans off the board here and we put St. Brown in here, I mean that's strong, bro. And then of course we have to take JT off and put Pacheco here. So, the Pacheco and McKinnon, which is nice, but I don't know. I mean, it does hit differently from like a redraft lens, but this is dynasty and Pacheco, JT. I know a lot of people are gonna say, if you sit straight up JT versus Pacheco, a lot of people are gonna say JT by a mile. But you throw in the St. Brown over Evans, situation, and it's like, what? Maybe Pacheco can be looked at as a much safer swap with JT. I don't think JT's a spring chicken. He's definitely not an old guy, but he's certainly, I don't think feels like he has 5 years left. Running backs have such a short shelf life.
Right.
I almost feel like, St. Brown's the ticket here. He's got a decade to go.
Right.
For anybody trying to find the weekly winners contest, if you go to the home lobby here, and you're on home, you're on lobby. Let me see if I can show everybody. You'll see. I think this is first for everybody, the sandbagger, and then you go over to weekly winners. This is the third one. If you don't see it, you got to update your app, and to do that, go to the App Store, search for the Underdog app, and then you have to actually click and go into the details. You will see it say open, but if you click on it and go in, you'll see the open will turn into an update. And if you've updated it and it's still not showing, there might be something with your state, or you could reach out to support and see. But someone said that it's not on Android yet, so if you have an Android phone, it potentially might not be available yet. I don't know about certain states though. Okay. But yeah, I'm almost on the clock here. Is this 18 rounds? Yeah, this is 18 rounds. I don't know that I need to get a backup quarterback or a third backup quarterback and a third backup tight end, because I'm not as scared about, like, at the end of it all not having somebody. I'm more focused on trying to win individual weeks, and if push comes to shove, I don't have a quarterback at the last couple weeks because I don't build enough depth, and so be it. I'd rather just take another shot at a wide receiver. I've got a very deep running back stable. I'll go with Terrence Marshall, who we talk about a little bit here and there. He's got good upside. So my squad is Anthony Richardson, Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Isaiah Pacheco, Javonte McKinnon, Olave, Hopkins, Jameson, Jaden Reed, Curtis Samuel, Nathaniel Tank Dell, Tim Patrick, Josh Downs, Terrence Marshall, Travis Kelce, Laporta. So not my favorite team I've ever drafted. The projections are right here. It definitely is not projecting, and don't ever take offense of this, because half the time you click on the highest projected team and you're like, what? That team's not going to win. So don't always look at it like that. But sometimes it's nice to see, that they're ranking you high when you think you're going to do well and they think you're going to do well. It's at least a nice combination. Mr. Kitty got a 198 point projection. He's got Fields, Cousins, Bryce Young, Fields, Cousins, Bryce Young, Barkley, Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, Cook, Kendra Miller, Tyreek, Pittman, Treylon Burks. Nice team, Andrews. I like it. That's good. It's a good squad. Second highest ranked team, or I think this is also 198. Jacobs, Connor, Ford, Deshaun Watson, Carr. See, this is no offense, Girth, but this is where I look at it and I'm like, how is this 198? There's a lot of players I don't love on this team though, like Jacobs. You go after Jacobs last year is what they're doing, with the average. And let's see, another team that's ranked really high is Ray from the one spot. Again, Mixon's probably getting a higher ranking than I would even come close to giving him. But nice squads. These are all nice squads. It's fun, man. Just go on over to the lobby on the homepage. You got these cards right here. There's Best Ball Mania. This is almost full. The Chihuahua is almost full. Are there slow drafts on here? No, they're not. Yeah, they're not. I'm probably not gonna do another one, guys, because tonight I'm probably not going super long. The phone lines are gonna be open for a little bit, so if anybody wants to dial in and ask a question, I will be here. And Mars Man, rock out. What do you got? Anything else? What's on your mind?
Oh yeah, to remind you about going back to my IGDM.
Yeah, it looks like Rob got in. Okay, good, Rob. Yeah, a lot of people need to update the app, and you update the app by going to the App Store, clicking on or typing in Underdog, and then don't just look at the list of results where it says open. You got to click on the actual details of the app and then hit the update button. Yeah, JT does have a lot of miles on him. I'm sure if they don't have Android working yet, you can bet they're on that. They don't want to lose out on people trying to get in this. Smitty, does my membership message show up on screen? It should, yeah. Hold on, let me look for it. Robert says, I'm having a little. I think I got to restart my system because some of the super chats I have to actually search for and bring them up. Robert, again, appreciate this super chat here. And hopefully I answered your question. Robert, you still here? Hopefully Robert heard my answer. Thank you for the super chat, Robert. Keep them coming, pal. Appreciate you. helping keep the lights on, my guy. As far as the membership, Electro says, what's your opinion on the Chargers? Thank you for that. I appreciate you using that. I'm sorry I didn't get to that yet. The TMT, thanks again for the gifted memberships. TMT again with the gifted memberships. Brofist Brad, appreciate you. TMT with the gifted memberships. Steven gifted one. Steven, I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge this. You gifted a membership to somebody. Really appreciate that. My guy, my man. And as for the Chargers, Electro, you probably see me talk about this. I'm sure you've seen it. But I definitely, whoever's on the phone, if you can mute, we got some background noise, some people talking in the background. If you could just mute it until you're up, that would be helpful. Thank you. But Electro, you've seen me talk about the Chargers. I'm a wait and see kind of guy when it comes to the Chargers. They burned me and everybody pretty badly last year. And I don't really know. This is a new system, it's gonna be some changes going on. And I don't know. I don't trust Keenan Allen. I don't trust Mike Williams. Quentin Johnson's raw. And Eckler's 28 years old. So there's a lot of reasons why I would probably say you can take Justin Herbert. I'm going to take T-Law. You can take Justin Herbert. I'm taking Justin Fields. You can take Herbert. And I'll just wait a while and do the Aaron Rodgers, Anthony Richardson stack. I just don't want any part of it this year, and I'm okay with that, even if it does well. I'm okay with it because I'm not predicting bust, but I'm certainly going to just step back and say a lot of factors, disappointment from last year. I'm not over it. I don't feel confident. I'm not sold on this being changed. I'm just not. And it doesn't mean that it can't happen. And I know a lot of Chargers fans hate when I say that. I know a lot of Herbert fans get mad at me and say, Smitty, you're going to pay. Herbert's going to show you. And maybe he will. And I hope he does because I love Herbert. We got a Herbert, thing going on here. We got a Herbert inside joke. And
Herbert is the goat. He'll punch you in the throat.
Yeah, I mean,
Herbert is the goat. He'll punch you in the throat.
We love Herbert. With a Herbert's the GOAT, he'll punch you in the throat. We love Herbert, but I need to see it. I need to see it before I'm going to invest when you have these other players that I do believe in and I'm not questioning. You know what I mean? Like somebody might say, well, Smitty, what did T-Law show you when he was, if he didn't have that comeback that he had, and this is a true statement, if he didn't have that comeback that he had, we wouldn't be looking at T-Law the same walking into 2023. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. We would have remembered him as not making the playoffs, as getting completely annihilated and blasted in that game. But he came back, and he did what he did. He's getting Ridley. His confidence is probably at an all-time high. We already believed in him, and he is a potential, 4 TD multiple times per season in a game. He'll have those 4 TD game spikes. He's perfect quarterback to have in this format because he's going to have those 4 touchdown games. He'll have 3 or 4 of them, or at least 3 of them, I think. He'll have those 4 touchdown performances. I love him. Let's go over to Wayne Solo.
What's up, Smitty?
What's up, my man?
Oh, not much. Just calling in, see what you're up to.
Oh, just trying to do the KC stack, and then a guy came across named Wayne. It took him. But again, don't ever worry about that because you're putting your hard-earned money in there to win, and you don't have to try and draft around what I want. So never feel bad about it.
Hey, you took Pacheco from me.
Technically, you were taking KC players after I was taking KC players. Everybody you tried to take that was KC was taking from me because I draft Kelsey before you drafted a Chief. So I established precedent. That's okay.
Yeah, so when are we doing this draft for the Marsman competition?
Yeah, everything's gonna be in August. For anybody that's got a Moonman card coming, I'm still getting those all together. I was not planning on doing the Moonman immediately at the same time. So I know people are saying like, "Where's my Moonman card?" They're coming. Don't worry, they are coming. But both drafts will be in August. We'll do the Marsman draft first. And then we'll do the Moonman draft after. But they'll be in August, like mid-August, I'd say. TMT dropping a $20 holler. Hold on a second, everybody. Hang tight on the phone lines.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat.
alert.
TMT dropping straight fire tonight with another $20 wad on screen. He says, Smitty, best show on the plant. Let's make it rain. Hit that like button on your way in the door. 110 people. Smitty, Garrett Wilson draft tonight. Yeah, I'll drop one right here at the end. Hold on. Actually, let me create one now. Garrett Wilson draft. If anybody doesn't know what I mean when I say Garrett Wilson draft, here, let me play this for you. Hang tight, callers. Hold on. Let me play this Garrett Wilson intro for you. Some of the details have changed, so I got to interrupt and explain. But let me find out where is that? Where's the Garrett Wilson draft? Where's that button? Where's that button when you need it? I think it might be. Did I move it? Why can't I find it? There it is. It's time to give away a signed Garrett Wilson jersey. I think so. If you want a chance to win this beauty right here, Garrett Wilson autographed jersey.
Smitty, that's mine. What do I gotta do to win it? Tell me now.
First, I'm going to say Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Second, I'm going to say starting after the NFL draft, we will be doing private drafts mostly on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays around midnight to 12:30 a.m. Eastern. And every time I drop a private draft link, aka Battle of the Moon Men is what we call this tournament. Every time I drop a private draft link, said draft link will be kept track of. Your boy Smitty will have the boys at Underdog keeping track of every league that I give them a link for that is included in said Battle of Moon Men. Then at the end of week 14, Underdog will let us know
the only
which
difference
one.
is it's not week 14. I got to redo the video. It's week 17. We thought initially before we started it was going to be when I made the promo. By the way, I dropped that link, so if you guys want to grab a spot in the Garrett Wilson draft, I just dropped it. And then we'll show it live here for a few minutes. I don't think I'm going to run through the whole draft, but I definitely will have it on screen here while we talk. But the Garrett Wilson, let's see, hold on. The Garrett Wilson drafts will be probably about 40 or 50 deep. That means we got 40 or 50 drafts. The highest scoring team out of all of the drafts, it doesn't matter, just through week 17, doesn't matter what league you're in, will win the autographed Garrett Wilson jersey. You'll win lifetime membership to the Fantasy Football Show, content membership, probably some other things, so get ready for that. Maybe even Underdog does something for you. I don't know, like a spot in something, or I'll try and work with them on that. But you also got a chance to win each of these drafts individually and like win $20, for the winner. So there, the link's dropped. 6 more to start. Link is in the live chat. Click that link and jump in. Harry, real quickly, before we go back to Wayne, Harry Romero, what's up, my guy? You're live.
What's up? Calling from Mexico, man. Paying
Oh,
the regular dollar because I can't get in that WhatsApp. But I was just calling to say what's up, Smitty. Yeah, I was thinking, did you hear?
Poor guy.
I think the Jets are going to be on Hard Knocks. That's going to be pretty fun to watch.
Hey, Harry, I appreciate you, first of all. I'm so sorry. Let me rename you, and so I see that you're calling from Mexico. Let me put that in your name here so that I know that, because honestly I forget all these things all the time. So Mexico, that way I can go, oh, hold on, we got to go to Harry because he's paying $8,000 a minute. Although the dollar is declining so much over here.
True.
It's if you're paying $1 a minute in your money, it's probably really like 10 cents here.
I saw real estate. Here to Americans in Mexico.
Okay.
And so I know that very well. People are like getting a little like, oh, I can't buy anymore. Like,
hey, so you sell? Let me ask you a question. You sell? Yeah. Oh, it's my pick. Hold on. Oh, that's a different draft. Is this true? I don't know if this is true, but when you buy a home in Mexico, you only buy it for 99 years or something?
No. If you're within 50 kilometers of the ocean or 100 kilometers of the border, back in the past, you couldn't own it. It can only be a Mexican citizen can own it. But they did a workaround because they were losing so much investment money. So now you can purchase any property through a bank trust. It's like just like the U.S. trust parlance in the U.S. Same thing. So basically, you own it. You have responsibility. You pay taxes for it. You get you control everything, but the bank holds the title for you. So it's kind
weird.
of a misnomer.
That's weird.
Yeah,
but you can actually.
Yeah, it's weird, but the thing is, it was written into the Constitution, so they couldn't rewrite the Constitution, so they did a workaround in the 70s, and they revised it.
That's
in the 90s,
interesting, bro.
You're completely safe. It's basically once it's signed off by, it's set in stone. Nobody can take it from you as long as it's
the bank owns it,
and it's all good. No, you own it. It's in your name. The bank
just
holds the title.
I'm just kidding. That's cool. That's cool. I used to think, I thought I'd heard before that you can never really truly own a property for life.
No, a lot of people, thought that. But the thing is also that there's some things here, like some titles aren't allowed to be owned by foreigners because some of the land here, the Mexican government gave specifically to Mexican citizens, like as a community.
I got you.
And then some people try to sell that off. So you just have to do your due diligence and make sure the property you're buying is legit. But once it's legit, you're all good.
Gotcha. Well, what's up, Harry? And yeah, you can call from WhatsApp.
Yeah.
You just gotta. I mean, I've had it open before, and you never called.
I tried. It said your account wasn't valid. That's why. I'll text you again. Just send me a WhatsApp, and then we can talk from there.
Well,
but
go to thefantasyfootballshow.com, click on text device, and just follow that real quick, and make sure you're doing the right instructions. And if you send me a message, I'll see it. Do that, and then I'll see it. It'll be easier because I don't know how to find you.
Right.
You gotta message me.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, send me a message.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, what do you got? What do you got for fantasy?
Yeah, I'm totally with you on the Gibbs. I saw your Gibbs video today. I'm totally locked in on that. 100%. And I'm actually excited to watch the Hard Knocks with the Jets. That's actually pretty exciting. I want to see Garrett Wilson and what's called Aaron. You get into it a little bit, see that chemistry.
Mm-hmm. They can zip it.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't want to hold up your show, man. I just call to say what's up, and I'm gonna hang up so I don't spend too much money. But you're doing a great show, Smitty. We love you.
All right, hey, call in anytime, and when you call in, and then we'll switch you over to WhatsApp sometime and do that. But send me a message, all right? Go to thefantasyfootballshow.com. All right, man. Later. Let's go over to Rax Poker. You're live.
Hey, what's going on, Smitty?
Good. Just trying to fill this draft.
Really
I dropped the link, and we need 6 more people to join this Garrett Wilson draft. I'll drop the link one more time, but go ahead. What's up, my man?
I don't really have a fantasy football question. I was just wondering if, for me or even anybody in the chat, if you could kind of explain the best ball, the draft, because I've seen your post on Instagram about, I don't know if it's the weekly winners, like if that is all the drafts or if that's just that draft. I'm just kind of confused on how the point system works.
Okay, so best ball,
on.
Best ball traditionally, like, so if you go like this draft we're doing right here, this Garrett Wilson draft, they're normally it's one and done. You draft and then it's done. You don't do waivers, you don't do trades, you don't do lineups. Like, you need to be smart enough through trial and error. You're not going to know how to do it right away. You're going to botch your first draft. Through trial and error, you need to figure out how to plan for injuries, bye weeks, all that, so that you have the right number of guys at each position to weather through each week. And the system starts your highest scoring players for you. So if it's 1 QB, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex, 1 tight end, then it's gonna go through your 3 QBs. And if your highest scoring one's Aaron Rodgers, he starts for you, and the rest get zeroed out. And then if it's 2 running back, your top 2 running backs will score, and then the rest will be zeroed out. The other guys don't count toward your score or anything; they just get zeroed. And so at the end of week 17, through a series of eliminations, each round through round 14, it's weeks 1 through 14, and then the top 2 teams from your league that you drafted with advance to the next bucket.
So it's whoever scores most. It's not head-to-head or anything like that.
No head-to-head.
Whoever scores the most.
Whoever scores the most. But through week 14, the top 2 scoring teams in each of these groups of 12, your original draft, you draft with 11 other people, they go to the next round. And you don't just go into a big bucket. The week 15, you get put into another group of 12, And then depending on the contest, the top 2 from that single week advance. The next round you get put in with another group of 11, so you're in another group of 12. And then in the final week, if there's like 300 people left, you're all in like one league together. Who scores the most wins. But with this particular contest they just launched that we did earlier called the Weekly Winners, it's the same concept, but the only difference is there's no race to the finish. It's all weekly, which is the coolest thing they've ever added. So basically week 1, the top scorer gets 20,000. The second gets 10,000. The third gets 9. The fourth gets 8. The fifth gets 7. And so on. And then week number 2, week 1 didn't matter. What you did in week 1 didn't matter. You could draft a team that's suspended for 16 weeks. And if let's say you drafted a team where everybody was suspended for 16 weeks, that means you're playing for week 17. So you're going to lose every week. You're not going to win any of this money. But in week 17, if your team scores the most points out of everybody, you would win the 20,000 in that week, etc. You know?
Wait, 20,000 out of everybody that joins, or the 12 people in the group you draft with?
In the Weekly Winners, you draft with a group, but you have nothing really to do with them in that particular contest. It's 20,000 to the highest scoring team.
Joins.
Yeah, not to the You do a $15 entry, and if you win first, you get 20K. You imagine that?
Wow, that's pretty cool.
You don't get 20K. You get 20K if you beat everybody that week. You get
I was about to say, out of the 12 people you drafted with,
you get 10. You get 10. You get 10K if you win second out of everybody in the entire thing. But bro, when you think about that, that's 17 20K first prizes. You know, that's 17 10K second prizes. That's 17.
You can just stack Patrick Mahomes with Tony, Pacheco, McKinnon, everybody, and just play.
Well,
just basically be betting on the Chiefs every week.
Now you're thinking best ball. Now you've got a strategy that you want to deploy, and that's the way everybody else thinks. Another person might say, I'm going to go into every single week, and especially, the bye week, what most people call the bye week NATO or whatever, the week 7 or week 8, whatever week has the most bye weeks. And draft a team of the studs that are remaining that week, because there's going to be nobody that has any good fantasy players that week. So like that, there's all kinds of strategies involved.
Oh, now I see what you're saying. Okay.
You can do whatever you want. You can go after the Cardinals and say, like, I'm going to go after,
exactly.
I'm going to draft Niners, and they play the Cardinals twice a year, and they're going to have 2 huge weeks. And, you could think of it however you want. Me personally, I'm going to more take advantage of people drafting players out of pocket, and just going to take the best player available every time for the most part. I will deploy some strategies. The KC team, I'm definitely going to draft a KC team.
The Eagles and the Bears, they both play Arizona like week 16 and week 15. I think it is back to back, and the Niners play them in week 17. I'm pretty sure. So they got all tough matchups there. But thanks for the explanation.
Yes, sir. Bill is on the line.
Hey, Schmidt, how are you, bro?
What's up, Bill? What you doing?
Just chilling. Just calling in. Heard a little. I know there's been some dynasty talk tonight in different drafts, but I was stuck on something from a few nights ago. Last week when we had our like 4-hour live stream call session.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff went down, but one of the best ball teams you drafted, you had the 3 quarterbacks, and you were going all out. You're like, screw it, 3 quarterbacks. It's crazy. My problem was in like the last, 16, 17 rounds. I was voting to take Joshua Palmer, the wide receiver from San Diego, and everybody argued that too crowded of a room. But I never got to voice my argument in best ball. If it's a crowded room, how do you know in best ball that some week that dude can't win you 3 or 4 weeks out of the 16 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, you make a good argument, and it's certainly, I guess what I would say is there's other players that you could say that about too. That's the only thing I would say. But you know, it just depends. I mean, given that he's now the fourth option, like things haven't gotten better for him, they've gotten worse for him. You know, he's the fifth option because Eckler's the number one option. But then you have 3 wide receivers ahead of him. So you know what I would tell you?
Yeah, but
you know what I would tell you though is that he makes a great pick if you draft Keenan Allen or Mike Williams, because if one of them go down, or Quentin Johnston, now you have that guy to jump in.
That's my issue, is that you said in that wide receiver room, but in that wide receiver room, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, because I had a little piece of them both in the past few years, they barely 500. They barely played more games than they didn't. So then if you're dealing with older guys or injury-prone guys, then he could all of a sudden be number 2, but number 2
True.
for like 9 weeks.
True.
I mean, that's my concern, because because you're like, oh, there's other guys that are better, and everybody thinks that, and everybody takes the same guy over and over that's better. But then all of a sudden, this guy's hanging out there, and then, 3 weeks before he comes relevant, you say, hey, I see on the horizon he's going to become irrelevant.
Let me put it this way.
Relevant.
Could I see myself, like in week 7, having him on the top of the waiver, one of the top waiver wire grabs? Like, certainly. Me not trying to belittle him and say that he's not even somebody you draft. Well, he really isn't. But if in most formats he isn't. But my point is actually a positive one. Could I envision saying, guys, he's one of the top waiver wire grabs this week? Yeah, I mean, certainly if injuries strike, I would just say that when he was in there last year, when he got the opportunity, he didn't really run away with it. So I already feel like he didn't impress me when he had a shot. But I hear what you're saying, and again, cuffing him to one of the other wide receivers makes more sense to me. But I just think what it comes down to is not so much I don't like him. It's just like you're talking about, like in week 18, I'd rather go after Charlie Jones. I'd rather go after Michael Wilson for the Cardinals, that rookie wide receiver, or Curtis Samuel or someone like that, because I think that Charlie Jones has a better shot at unseating Boyd than than anything.
Can I ask you something else?
Yeah.
So we always talk and hear, and we all of us do our thing with handcuffs, especially the running backs, handcuffs. But then why is Joshua Kelly, always left out there on the waiver wire when the draft's over? Again, San Diego, the running back behind Eckler. I mean, and especially you say, oh, a little worried Eckler could have a downfall, or McCaffrey could have a downfall, but then these handcuffs get left out there and avoided.
Well, because I think not all handcuffs are equal, and it's L.A., not San Diego, but in L.A.
No, but if Eckler went down, who's carrying the ball in the backfield?
Well, nobody in San Diego. No one in San Diego.
Is it Ron Navy? Who's carrying the damn ball?
No one in San Diego, though. That's the whole point. Get it, Bill. Hey, Bill. How's the rest?
We're halfway we're halfway in the call. It's halfway done. All right.
How's the restaurant, Bill? How's the restaurant, Bill?
Yeah, that's another subject. We'll talk about that off air.
Okay, but hey, so let me put it this way. He was the worst. He was one of the worst running backs in his rookie class across the board, across all categories. And not only that, you what?
Kelly?
Or no. The other running back. What's the other running back's name? Let me look it up. Why am I blinking? Why am I?
I said Eckler and Kelly.
I'm sorry. I thought you said the backup. What's his name? I don't think Kelly's necessarily the backup.
No, he's out there. He's there for the
Spiller.
team and there for the point. It feels like a
who?
Feels like a
Spiller.
Yeah, Spiller. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name.
But then,
my brain's fried tonight. Yeah, Isaiah.
is that CJ Spiller? AJ Spiller? What's that? What is that?
No,
Isaiah.
Isaiah. So Isaiah Spiller's technically they kind of share the backup role. I think ESPN shows Kelly as the backup. So here, okay, let me say this. Isaiah Spiller was one of the worst running backs in every category at the combine. Like, just so he didn't even run the 40, but yet he could work out and everything. He didn't run the 40 because he's slow. He says he didn't run the 40 because of an injury, but he did all the other drills. Like, give me a break. So he didn't run the 40 because he's slow. He tested out very badly. Like, every category is near the bottom of all the running backs. And Spiller on film looked awful. His counterparts that would replace him were better than him, faster than him, had equal or better numbers than him, better metrics than him. So this guy comes out and everybody's like, oh, he's the backup, he's a good cuff. I bring that up because you're saying, why aren't people cuffing? And this is one of the situations you would think that would get cuffed the quickest, right? Because you have a situation where Eckler's one of the most productive and thrown to running backs in the National Football League. So why wouldn't you cuff him? Because he was awful. And a lot of people liked him, and I didn't. I was like, stay away from him. Now, Kelly seems to have maybe overtaken him. According to the depth chart, he's number 2. And I like that. That makes me feel a little bit better about cuffing him because I don't believe in Spiller. So I guess my answer to you would be, if Kelly is the true backup when push comes to shove, I'm okay with that cuff. But Spiller, I'd just rather take another player, you know. But Kelly I like better than Spiller. So if Kelly remains the backup, the cuff, and it appears he's the number 2 on the depth chart, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I think they might believe in Spiller still. The one thing about Kellen Moore is he'll probably use 2 running backs. So one of these guys, Kelly, could be occasionally useful. You know, so I don't think you're wrong in wanting to cuff the 2. But Spiller's awful. If Spiller's the backup, I don't care about cuffing anybody there. You know, I don't know that it's going to produce. Spiller's bad. But Kelly's not bad. Kelly's not bad. I don't mind Kelly. What else you got, Bill?
Well, that was a little bit my point. I just feel like Palmer and Kelly on that team with those older players on that Charger team, there's breakout possibilities. And I completely agree with you that there's no breakout possibility with Spiller.
None.
I said I had to ask you for his name because I already overlooked
Bro, I already forgot it.
Palmer.
I already forgot. Like that's how much out of mind he is. Look, I know a lot of people laugh at me when I have like a brain freeze, which honestly I don't have a lot of brain freezes. I have a lot of information in my head, but I also talk more than any other YouTuber you see. Like I'm constantly like, so it's rare for me to be left without words. But you do find it is funny that when I do shove something out of my brain and I can't hold anything else in it, it's always somebody that's forgettable. You know, it's like Spiller. Yeah, I'm gonna forget Spiller. Spiller has no business using up any space inside my head. I'm just gonna push him out. Yeah, okay, Spiller's gone. I don't need to remember his name. You know, even Devontae Parker. That was what was so funny about the Devontae Parker signing. Is like if you ask me about I know this is what I do. Like I have to research this stuff. I'm looking at this stuff all day long, and I'm telling you, I'm being honest. If somebody came to me before that signing happened yesterday, and they said, "Is Devontae Parker with the Patriots?" I pushed that out of my brain because it's useless. I honestly would have had to said to somebody, I think he's still on the team on another 1-year deal, but I don't know. He could have been a free agent and no one signed him, and he's like, I honestly didn't know. I honestly had no idea. Like, or I guessed a guess, but I didn't know for sure if he was still on his 1-year deal or not. That's how meaningless Devontae Parker is to me. These people that think he's gonna do something this year at 30 years old, like he found the fountain of youth. This isn't the movie Invincible. Like, what are we talking here? I'm on the clock here. Hold on, boys. All right, this is a Garrett Wilson draft. JJ, Chase, Bijan, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey. Let's go with good old Travis Kelce again. This is the second time I've drafted him tonight. I might have to put him on the graphic now. Bill the Tickler, everybody. Bill the Tickler on the phone. Living legend. Let's go around I'm not going to stay long tonight, so let me go over to Wayne Solo real quick. Wayne, do you have any final thoughts? I think I'm going to wrap it up because I'm super tired, and I've been live for an hour and a half.
Well, we're getting to that point about Hopkins. Remember I told you a couple weeks ago, if he didn't sign somewhere by the end of June, I would start to worry about him a little bit. I think my Chiefs are pretty much out. They would have signed him already if they were really interested. Plus, I don't think it's their style. I don't know about the Bills, though. Who knows? Who knows what the Bills are doing? They should have signed him already, too, probably. So,
yeah,
sounds like New England or Tennessee.
I don't know why
somebody else throws their name in the hat.
I don't know why everybody keeps thinking New England though. Like, I get that it's being said, and that's one reason why you would think it. But like, I don't see them. They set the stage for a bigger contract. Like, they essentially just said that, you know, we have to pay you 33 million. Like, how can you pay him less than Devontae Parker?
Like, well, it would be 11 million, right?
Well,
roughly.
Well, no, I'm saying 3 years.
They're not going to sign him for a 3-year deal.
Well, why would you sign Parker to a 3-year, $33 million deal? He's 30 years old. He has a huge injury history. He's had 1,000-yard season. I would sign Hopkins to a 3-year, $33 million deal over Devontae Parker in a heartbeat. Devontae Parker's the guy you give a 1-year deal. So I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I don't know what they're thinking.
And my New England, I wouldn't say my New England fans. I'd say my New England people who don't play fantasy that find my content, like especially on Instagram, they're livid. They saw my post. They're like, "Tell me you don't know anything about football without telling me you don't know anything about football." In my comments, one guy says something like, "You know, you obviously don't, you know, pay attention to football, and you don't watch football, or you obviously, you know, just say things without even looking at it." It's like, bro, come on. Like, everyone's like, you don't realize they just saved $3.7 million, and now they're going after Hopkins. This is a clear sign they're going after Hopkins. Like, maybe that happens. Maybe they were going to sign him, and he said, you know, I don't like that offer. He left. They gave Parker the deal, and then Hopkins crawls back and says, okay, I'll take it. And they go, all right, we'll give it to him anyway. Like, maybe it happens. Maybe it unfolds that way. I don't know. It's certainly a possibility, but it's such a small chance. You don't sign a player to a 3-year, $33 million deal, then go get another receiver for, you know, a similar amount. Even if it's a $14 million 1-year prove-it deal or whatever. Like, I don't think they're going to do it. They don't really spend money, and they just spent money on defense today. Like, they're spending money they spent 2 large sums of money in the past 48 hours. Like, the odds of Hopkins going to New England, it just went down again. You know, and on top of that, this roughly $4 million that they saved. His contract was $5.7 million. That's what his contract was going to be before they offered him the 3-year deal. And his current contract has roster bonus escalators that bring it to 5.7, so the exact same amount. So it's not as simple as they saved this money for sure. There's a lot of different, you know, things to it.
So where do you think he goes? Like, if New England's out, which let's just say they're out. I mean, obviously you still got Tennessee, but
I'd
somebody
say
else going to throw their name in the hat.
I mean, I think maybe Cleveland gets back in the mix. There was a report, but it was from a beat writer, not the team, that they don't think that the Browns are going to go after him. I think Watson will make a big push. I think, you know, Tennessee might get back in the mix. You know, I don't think Houston thinks they can win now. So I don't know that Houston will want to go after him, but he has mentioned Houston being a place he'd like to play with Stroud. You know, to me, it's crazy that the Bengals, the Eagles, the Buffalo Bills, and the Chiefs aren't just fighting for him. You know, if not just to prevent the other one from getting him. I don't get it, bro. I don't get. This is where logic doesn't compute for me. You know, this is where I go live and say he's going to one of these 4 teams and it doesn't happen, and I'm sitting here the next stream going, what? You know, like I sometimes I predict something logically, and you know, I think everyone here watching probably agrees. Most people, I believe, would agree
that is very
I
logical.
would say
for one of
it
those teams to
surprises me, but it doesn't surprise me with the Chiefs because, I've been a Chiefs fan my whole life. I know how the Chiefs operate. This is not their style to go get somebody that's an aging receiver who was once upon a time obviously the best receiver in the league. But it's just not their style. They just don't do it. I don't like that they don't do it, but they just don't do it for some reason. So I'm really not shocked.
Yeah. I know Travis, and I appreciate you and I having different opinions on this. Don't feel like you can't voice it, so keep doing it. If you believe that I'm wrong and the Patriots signing Devontae Parker has nothing to do with Hopkins coming or going, I appreciate your opinion. I respect your opinion. I do disagree, and I think it has tremendous amount to do with it. It doesn't, maybe it's indirectly the way that you're describing it, the way I'm describing it. I'm saying that they don't make that signing, Travis, if they're going after Hopkins. I'm not saying that the actual money amount necessarily rules them out. The message of it, the fact that they're
sending a message saying that they're moving on from Hopkins.
They're moving on.
Going with Parker because they play the same spot.
Right.
They both play the same position.
So, Travis, I think that you're looking at it from one perspective, which I understand and it makes sense that, the signing has nothing to do with they freed up money. What Wayne and I are saying is that they were waiting on signing him based on whether Hopkins was coming in. And when they decided Hopkins wasn't, whether it was Hopkins saying, no, disrespectful offer, I'm out, and called their bluff. And then Travis, they came in and said, okay, well we're not bluffing. We're going to sign Devontae Parker now, who was rumored to be a cap casualty if they brought in Hopkins, because they're only going to allocate so much money, regardless of how much they free up or not. They only allocate so much money to the wide receiver position or to any position. Bill is not going to be spending double that amount of money on wide receiver room. In my opinion, it is a very clear message to me, and not only to me, but there were several reports out there saying that Devontae Parker, if the Patriots bring in Hopkins, and these are opinion pieces, but they're obviously hearing some stuff, that they're going to release him. They're going to release him and bring in Hopkins, but I don't think they're doing both. I think they're very, very tied together. But I understand your point of view. I just disagree with it. But Travis, I appreciate you, and you can always voice your opinion and continue to. I just want to make sure you know that, because Travis and I are on the same page, and he's not on this with me, and I'm fine with it. I just want him to know that. Kendrick Bourne looks like he's the odd man out if they get D-Hop, but they're not getting D-Hop, Danny. They're not doing it. They're not doing it, Danny. They aren't.
Technically, he already is the odd man out. They got Juju. They got Thornton. Thornton's a starter. And then now they just paid Parker.
Yeah.
They're not running a ton of 4 receiver sets.
I don't think they're going to get a third wide receiver when they consider Parker now their number 2. Like, they clearly see him as their number 2. They're paying him enough money to make him a number 2, even if there's incentives in there that won't let him fully get all that money. But we'll see. All right, Wayne, appreciate you, man. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, we'll catch you later.
Later. Bill the Tickler, any final thoughts? I appreciate you.
No, we're good, Smitty. I appreciate the call.
All right, Bill.
Time.
I'll talk to you later, pal.
Talk to you later, Smitty.
See it. Rock out. Final thoughts, rock out. Hello?
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 Oh, rock out. You had a looks like we're stalled here on this draft. I took Kelsey and then it went. So here's the draft. It went Jefferson, Chase, Bijan, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, Kelsey, Diggs, Garrett Wilson, and we're stuck on Swan. So I'm gonna unplug that. We're done with that. Rock out. You left me a DM, right? I gotta find this. Yeah. I'm guessing this is a musical hit that you left me, that you created. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Here we go. That's rock out, ladies and gentlemen. Rock out. Rocking out like normal. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts with any of the things we talked about?
What do you think Odell's gonna do with Baltimore?
Surprisingly, I'm like getting a little like. I mean, this certainly isn't. Hold on, Harry's calling from Mexico. Rock out. 1 second.
No problem.
Harry.
Yeah. Smitty, real quick, how do I go back during the slow draft to go back into my slow draft and do it for my PC? How do I know when it's my turn?
On Underdog,
I just say,
click on active.
Yeah.
Click on active, and then you'll see your drafts right there.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right,
I'm
man.
new to this, so I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, later.
All right. Have a good night.
Oh, hey, turn on push notifications too, so you get alerted when you're on the clock.
I did. Thank you.
Okay. All right, man. Later.
Thank you.
All right, rock out. What was your question?
Odell.
Odell. Yeah, Odell. I'm weirdly like intrigued when I see him out there, looking actually pretty quick. But then you just have to remember, like, I'll take him as a 4th or 5th wide receiver in a couple leagues, but you just got to remember when your ligaments and your body fail the way that Odell's have failed, you don't really ever get back to 100. Like, he's not going to be 100%, not at his age. When you're as old as he is, and you've had all of those injuries, more than one ACL, you've had all these different. I mean, I don't know. His body's going to give out, at some point. It's not that he won't go 100% and look great doing it, but it's like at some point something's going to break again, and it's going to be just him on the ground with a towel over his head, and it's going to be like, but could it be 5 weeks of pretty decent play? Maybe. Odell, it's so funny because, like, Odell, when you say Odell's name, you don't think Odell like we used to. But remember how good he was. Remember how good of a prospect he was at one point. He just kind of wasted away. Kind of sucks. Odell could have been so good. But I'm intrigued at, like, wide receiver 4 or 5 value. But, like, not even my wide receiver 3. 4 or 5.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, rock out. I'll see you later, pal.
See ya.
All right, guys, I'm out of here. Swan isn't coming back. I will see you all tomorrow. I don't know when I'll be going live tomorrow, but if news breaks, you can bet I will. I'm sure I'll go live midday or do some video midday. I've got the win a league based on 4 players, the 4 best picks in fantasy football 2023. Number 1 was Joe Burrow. Number 2 is Jahmyr Gibbs. Go watch video 1 and video 2. You can see it right in the graphic. The top 4 picks in fantasy football 2023, Joe Burrow and Jahmyr Gibbs. Go check out that video or both those videos, and expect number 3 to drop tomorrow and number 4 to drop on Saturday or Monday. And check it all out. Appreciate you, Klondike. I'll see you later. Travis, we'll see you later. Thank you for modding as usual. Electro, appreciate you. Peanut Butter and Waivers, you are the man. Did I miss any super chats? I have to restart my system, guys. I apologize. I hope you guys don't. TMT dropping the 20 spot tonight. Robert dropping the $2 hauler. Jeffrey dropping that $2 hauler. Brofist Brad coming in strong tonight with the first super chat of the day. All first super chatters get a standing ovation. He was the first super chatter of the night.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
So appreciate you, Brad. I will see you all later. Thank you. All right, we'll do this real quick, Travis, because I do have to go. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I just realized I'm going to catch up on the other videos. What is the week 1 drafting? Did I miss something there?
That's this video. That's the weekly winners draft that we just did at the beginning of this video.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
No,
drafting. We're drafting like.
Sure.
Yeah, I was basically just saying, like, we're drafting for a week 1 $20,000 prize. Already. This is week. Like, we can do each week. So, rather than draft for the entire season. So, but real quickly, speak your mind on this Hopkins situation real quick, and then I got to go. So go ahead.
No, I just think it didn't change anything because one, they're not similar players at all, and two, it's $14 million guaranteed with a bunch of markers. So it's they're paying him $4.5 million. That's not number 2 wide receiver money at all. And I mean, I get what you're saying. That the fact that they throw out something that looks big, like $33 million, 3 years, that almost looks like something people think might be offered to D-Hop, but I don't know. They have a ton of cap space next year. They could backload a big contract. It just financially, it doesn't take them out of the running. I don't know if maybe sending a message or something.
Yeah,
maybe, but
I think we're arguing different points. I think financially you're correct, and that's what a lot of people in my Instagram comments that's fine. I get it. It's going to piss people off, but my opinion is based on actual reports that if they did go ahead and go after Hopkins, they're releasing Devontae Parker because they're just their thinking is we're not going to have all these big names. And I know Parker's not a big name. I don't know if you like him, but to them they paid him what, like you said, on the surface it looks like more money, but they're also putting him on a 3-year deal. Like if it wasn't a lot of money or it wasn't giving him security, he wouldn't have he wouldn't necessarily done it. Like he got, I know, some upfront money for sure, but it's still a commitment to a player. It's not like they're gonna just cut him next year. So it's a commitment. They're filling one of their wide receiver spots, sending a message as to we're addressing the wide receiver room and moving forward. And they move forward. And you guys, I don't know if you're a Patriots fan, right? Travis, you're a Patriots fan, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am.
So no offense to this, but anybody giving me pushback on it is a Patriots fan. They're hopeful that you're getting Hopkins. It's a natural, bias that you got, and I understand it. But I don't think I've had one non-Patriots fan push back on it at all. They all agree. It's always a Patriots fan, which I feel like you're gonna say, well, we're more into the details and we're really looking at it, but I feel like you're naturally as a fan going to try and, connect dots that maybe aren't there. And the fact that the reports were there that they would move on from Parker or not move on from Parker based on Hopkins, this is like this wait, this happened. He didn't sign. He left. There's no buzz about him getting close to working at a deal. You usually hear that kind of thing when two sides are close, but they're not really meeting in the right place. That they release that information to get the other side to come back to the table with a different offer. And so the fact that there's no communication, there was a wait, and then all of a sudden there was a signing of Devontae Parker. That all to me is very clear indication that they moved on and they decided not to go with what was reported. And maybe the report was wrong, but there were several reports that said they would move on from Devontae Parker, cut him if they brought Hopkins in. All those dots seem to be getting connected to me, and I get it. Yeah. There's a savings that everybody's trying to dig for. And, they actually freed up money. That means they're going after Hopkins. Like I feel like it's not going to happen. This to me indicated, in my opinion, it indicated the complete opposite.
Yeah, the only two quick things I'll say on that is, one, like obviously everyone has a little bit of a bias for their home team. I try to be as realistic as I can be with it. But anyone who doesn't want him to go to the Patriots, I mean, I understand people hate the Patriots, so they're not going to go, oh yeah, he's going there. I hope he goes there. No one wants him to go there. But
Double A.
On top of that,
sorry, Double A just gifted 10 memberships, so I had to do a standing ovation. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Double A.
Oh no, I was just saying anyone who people don't want him to go to the Patriots. I understand the hate people have for the Patriots. But,
but I feel like there's some people really don't care. They're indifferent. Like for me, I'm a fantasy guy. A lot of people watching right now, I doubt most of the negative Hopkins isn't going to the Patriots, relax, comments are not from Patriot haters. They're from people that are indifferent. And I think that you talk to a Patriots fan and they're convinced Hopkins is still coming. And maybe you guys have an inside line as to why, or you're looking at it from a clear lens, but my guess is probably more foggy lens than clear, because you're trying to make sense of what's been going on there, and you're just praying that Bill does the right thing and brings in the right personnel this time. But Bill passed on Lamar. He passed on, I believe, Hopkins. And I don't think that Bill's headed in the right direction. Believing in Mac Jones is a mistake, in my opinion, and maybe you feel differently. It sucks, but I'm in the same boat in Arizona. Like my Cardinals aren't going anywhere this year. Absolutely nowhere. I don't like Kyler. I think we made a mistake giving him the bag. I was firmly against it. You remember that. I'd go live going, this Kyler Murray doesn't deserve his contract, and then he got it. And you know what I said then? He wouldn't get it. Because the team said we're not going to pay him until he matures and proves himself. And I believed the team. So I did a live stream that said he's not going to get his extension this year, last year. And he got it. So I was wrong. But again, I got beat by illogical thinkers. They made me a fool because they said, and I trusted them, we're not giving him a contract till he matures and grows up. They gave him a month or two to grow up. He didn't even do anything to prove it. And then they gave him his contract extension. And now they regret it. And now the Cardinals are hoping they get the 1.1 so they can grab Caleb Williams and try and trade this bad contract in Kyler Murray to get him out of Arizona. I was wrong ultimately on how it played out, but I don't believe I was wrong on what should have happened and what logically should have happened, and it didn't. That's just the nature of what I do, but I'm not always right either. Like maybe Mac Jones ends up becoming something great. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Well, and not only that, but I don't see Bill setting him up to do it. If he's some kind of hidden gem, Bill's not going to get it out of him because Bill's bringing in Devontae Parkers or bringing back Devontae Parkers on 3-year deals.
I mean, I think the book is just out on Mac. I mean, last year was a mess, and the year before he looked all right. I think it's just completely up in the air. I mean, I hope he does well. I think there's a chance. I don't think he's a top 5 type quarterback ever, nothing like that. But I think I also heard here, we hear different things, national and local and all that crap. But they were saying it wouldn't necessarily be Parker that got cut, and that they wanted to keep Parker because he's a good possession type of guy and makes guys like Mac Jones look better along the sideline and stuff. He's only going to get how many catches a season, but almost like a security blanket for Mac. So I just don't see him being playing that big of a role on the team aside from.
Well, I know, but I just think
down the sideline.
I just think that not just because of optics, but I don't think you will. I mean, I don't know if you disagree with me on this, but I don't think you have Bill Belichick offering that deal to him if you're offering a big deal to Hopkins. It doesn't matter how much money that deal saved him. I think it's the statement of we're moving on. We've got our 2 big wide receivers. Whether we agree that he's a big wide receiver or not, it was a big statement to say we're giving you a 3-year, $33 million deal and giving you a bunch of upfront money. It wasn't like I get that the contract, after the upfront money is already off the table and in his pocket, that it's a different contract now to look at. Now we got to look at $33 million minus the $14 million, and now look at how much of it actually is guaranteed. I get all that, but it's still a commitment. You extended the commitment, and that to me tells me that you had the conversation with Hopkins that you needed to have, and it wasn't going to go where you wanted it to go. So that pause is why you went this direction. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the submarine, the lost submarine. There were certain logical things that you broke down, right? The deductive reasoning. I don't know if anybody followed that. It was such a horrible situation, but it was like a mesmerizing, news report. Like you were interested and you wanted them to be safe, of course, and you're hoping that they all came back. But you talked to someone like James Cameron, who's just, I love James Cameron. That if something was happening, if a comet was coming toward the Earth and we needed to get our best minds together, this guy needs to be involved. James Cameron is the boss. Yeah, he's a boss. I mean, this guy's
he'll tell you like it is.
Yeah, this guy's a Titanic expert, and he just he started making the movie and became a Titanic and submarine expert. And there's all this stuff on James Cameron, and James Cameron came out and said he knew immediately that the submarine was done, was gone, because of the deductive reasoning that this man is unbelievably capable of making. And I feel like, you know, like he said that, you know, once the comms went down and once the tracking went down, which were completely two separate, you know, systems, that he knew that once they both went out at the same time and they heard a loud bang on the sonar or whatever, and he has so many connections, he made a call and said, did you have a sound between this time frame? They said, yes, we had a huge sound of a sonar bang. Like he put it all together. I just feel like I'm sorry to tie that to this situation. Like Smitty says that he could have,
No.
but it's just like you got to look at it from afar and say to yourself, you know, Hopkins went to visit, okay? Hopkins then left. And unlike situations where a deal usually gets worked out, there's some sort of, the agent releases information, they're negotiating, you know, they're close, but they're not close. Like, you hear all those conversations happening and it starts brewing and brewing and brewing, and it either falls flat or it ends up leading to one of the sides caving so that that party doesn't leave, you know, like Hopkins doesn't leave and go somewhere else. And they're worried about keeping him, like, hey, let's make sure we get him signed before he leaves. Now, his market's not huge, so that might be one reason why they wouldn't go after him. But the fact that Hopkins left, there was no talk, no buzz, no contract, nothing being discussed, then a lull, like a waiting period, and then a Devontae Parker signing. When reports said they would cut him if they signed Hopkins. That's just logical. You know, that's just the deductive reasoning of all these different things, and to say that how is he, why would Devontae Parker, why would they have waited this long to sign him? And why would it happen after this big gap in Hopkins and New England Patriot news and communication? You know what I mean? So that's why I brought up the summary. It's just the deductive reasoning I'm trying to explain, of noticing these different things and being like, look, you know, it's telling of what's really going on.
Yeah, and the one thing I will agree with you on there is that with Belichick, who I go back and forth with, I think he's a great defensive coach. I thank him for all the championships with him and Brady, but I wonder if the game's starting to pass him by a little. But the one thing I could see is him going to Hopkins and saying, we'll give you 3 years, $33 million. Hopkins saying no, and him going, well, screw you, we'll just give it to this guy. And that's what we fit.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So I do agree with you on that.
Yeah, that's why I say that if you use deductive reasoning, if we James Cameron this thing, and we just say, like, what's the timing look like? It's all about timing. Like, when you just, why didn't he get signed beforehand? Why didn't we hear any conversations about it? We didn't hear, they're trying to sign Devontae Parker. And we heard that lingering out about, it was like a shock. It was like, Devontae Parker. This came out of nowhere. Came out of left field. I didn't even know he was on the team. I just didn't. I'm just being honest. I didn't remember he was on the team. It came out of left field, and the only reason it would come out of left field is if they moved on. And that's my deductive reasoning.
Well, right, and like I said, in that sense, I still think, you know, Kraft could get a swoop in and say, well, pay him the money. I think D-Hop's holding out, hoping a better team comes for him too. I mean, I'm being realistic about that. But that does sound like a Belichick thing. Like, screw you, we'll just give it to this guy Devontae Parker, who hasn't been that good in 3 years. You know, a role player on our team, which, you know, that has always pissed me off about Belichick, anyways. But
I mean, Gesicki. What sounds more like a Belichick duo, Gesicki and Parker. Or
of course,
you know what I mean. You're right. He's an old man now when it comes to making personnel decisions. It's like Kraft even said, I mean, you want Lamar, you can have him. Bill's like, nah, we'll just go back.
I think Kraft also is getting a little old and out of it too, but they need a whole turnover. If you ask me, I think, you know, they should get a new coach, and I think Kraft's son has been taking over the team more and more, but you know.
Yeah, bro. If you would have got Lamar and Hopkins, you would have been talking about how many playoff games do you win? Not do you make the playoffs, Travis. How many playoff games do you win if you got Lamar and Hopkins? That's the frustrating part from my side of this. Is like, I mean, it seems so obvious, man. Like, how do you not? How do you not do that? How do you not do? And Travis, honestly, in your division,
Such a tough division. You got Miami. They've got a team that's going to be good for a couple years for sure. Buffalo is always going to be good as long as Josh Allen's there. Aaron Rodgers, let's give him 2 years. And even if he leaves, the Jets are still going to replace him and have an easy time saying, who wants to quarterback this team? Me, please. They're gonna find a way to fill that hole when Rodgers leaves. So my question to you is this. Are you winning a championship in the next 3 years?
Oh, not unless they make changes.
So who gives a crap about mortgaging the future and giving up 2 years of first rounders? Just 2 years. That's not 3 years. You're not winning a championship in 3 years anyway. 2 years of first rounders to get Lamar, pay him the bag, which, you know, I guess that's the part that's also a problem. But when your owner, Kraft, says, we'll do it, bring him in. I don't care. Like, your owner, he's pretty much, Smitty approved it. He said, we will do it. If Bill wants to do it, we'll do it. Your owner approved going and getting Lamar. Why would you not mortgage the future, 2 years of the future, when you're not winning anyway? Bring in Lamar, sign Hopkins, actually have a shot at a championship. Like, it's just, sometimes I just throw my hands up. I'm like, what in the hell are people doing in the NFL sometimes? How are these guys?
I think ever since the whole Brady thing happened with Brady, Garoppolo, Bill wanted to keep Garoppolo, you know, and let Brady go, and Kraft forced his hand on that.
You should have known then.
I think they haven't been on the same page since.
When this guy wanted Jimmy G, and you're like, whoa, this the guy had Brady? He wants Jimmy G? That's when we should have known Bill took a turn.
Bill hates quarterbacks. It's maddening.
I love the way Jimmy
G
throws a 6-yard pass.
Because, you know, they won a lot, but
yeah. I mean, hey,
it's frustrating.
You know what I always get, Travis, whenever I get done with a conversation like this is I don't feel bad for Patriot fans at all. They won for a while, like boo-hoo. So, like, in that sense, Travis, I don't feel too bad for you. you've had quite a run.
That's what I'm trying to say. That I try to preface things by going, I understand. Spoiled rotten for years. So but
it was.
Does that mean I can't live in the now? You know.
But what came first,
Still
Brady?
For my team.
What came first, the chicken or the egg, or the egg or the chicken? Brady. Brady came before. I mean,
Brady.
But
always Brady.
I mean, if Bill wasn't there, it wouldn't have come true. But, you know, at this point, it was definitely, you know, looking back, it was more Brady. All right, Travis, I got to get going up. Oh, what?
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, Bill gave him the foundation, but then Brady just ran with it. So.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you taking the call.
All right, later. All right, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out. Double A, thank you, Double A, for gifting those memberships. Double A is the man. Double A is the man with the plan. Double A, appreciate you, my guy. I'll see you all tomorrow.